The LSD conspiracy of the 1990s. In the chaotic Moscow of the 1990s, a deadly new drug emerged, ensnaring the city's youth in a web of addiction and despair. 5 gripping chapters unravel this chilling tale from the global rise of LSD, a psychotropic drug born in labs and weaponized during the Vietnam War, to its infiltration into Russia by a Polish courier Michas Wojcik. In 1993, Wojcik smuggled LSD into Moscow, hidden in Dutch postage stamps, targeting the city's elite yacht, students, rock fans, and club-goers. Russian investigator Stanislav Krivoruchkin led a covert operation, using an undercover translator to infiltrate Wojcik's network, uncovering a sophisticated drug ring involving Moscow dealer Denis Bakhonov and diplomat's son Alexander Ivolgin. Through wiretaps, stakeouts, and a daring sting in Minsk, the team dismantled the operation, revealing the devastating toll of LSD, hallucinations, brain damage, and a wave of suicides among Moscow's youth. But was this the end of the drug's deadly grip on Russia? Will the masterminds behind this conspiracy face justice? Chapter 1: The Rise of a Deadly Drug. In the labs of the West, a new drug was born, but what horrors would it unleash on Russia's youth? The sterile air of a Swiss laboratory in the late 1930s carries the faint scent of chemicals and ambition, the murmur of scientists blending with the hum of equipment as they synthesize a new compound, lysergic acid diethylamide, or LSD. By the 1960s, this psychotropic drug sweeps through Western Europe and the United States, the air thick with the scent of rebellion and euphoria as youth embrace its hallucinogenic effects, vivid colors, heightened music perception, and prolonged euphoria, the murmur of counterculture filling the streets. But the air hums with a darker undertone as LSD's origins shift from scientific curiosity to military experimentation, its effects catching the eye of intelligence agencies. The Vietnam War becomes a testing ground, the humid jungle air sharp with the scent of gunpowder and fear as American soldiers are dosed with LSD, the drug suppressing fear and boosting aggression, the murmur of their heightened combat spirit echoing through the ranks. The air grows tense with the scent of danger as the war ends, and LSD spreads globally, its allure masking a deadly toll. What horrors would this drug unleash on Russia's youth? And who would bring it to Moscow's streets? The scent of paper and unease lingers, the world a stage for a tale of addiction and conspiracy. LSD's global spread. By the 1970s, LSD's global spread accelerates, the air thick with the scent of euphoria and despair as narrow dealers exploit its effects. The drug, unlike traditional narcotics, is synthetic, born in labs, its potency far surpassing that of heroin or cocaine. The air humming with the murmur of its growing demand, users are drawn to its ability to induce vivid hallucinations. The air filled with distorted colors and sounds, but the scent of danger grows as its side effects emerge, rapid damage to the central nervous system and brain. The murmur of users' minds shifting to visions of chases, horrors, and disasters, their euphoria replaced by torment. The air grows heavy with the scent of tragedy as addiction spreads, the drug's allure turning deadly, its users trapped in a cycle of psychological ruin. The murmur of overdoses and mental breakdowns echoing through cities worldwide. The 1993 narco-mafia summit. In 1993, the air in a clandestine meeting room in Holland is thick with the scent of cigar smoke and tension, the murmur of voices low and deliberate as leaders of the international narco-mafia convene. Interpol intelligence, later uncovered, reveals their chilling dation to expand the drug market into Russia and the former Soviet states. the air humming with the scent of opportunity as they target a region in chaos after the USSR's collapse. The air grows tense with the murmur of their plan. LSD, previously absent from Russia, will be their weapon, its compact form ideal for smuggling. The scent of profit driving their ambition, the air hums with danger as they set their sights on Moscow. A city of porous borders and restless youth, the murmur of their scheme a harbinger of devastation. Wojcik enters Russia. Autumn 1993 brings a new player to Moscow. The air thick with the scent of vodka and cigarette smoke is Michas Wojcik. A Polish citizen steps off a plane at Sheremetyevo Airport. The city buzzes with post-Soviet chaos. Rusted Zhiguli cars lining the snowy streets, faded red banners flapping in the wind. The murmur of nightlife echoing through Moscow's clubs and discotheques. Wojcik, a gregarious figure, presents himself as a philatelist or travel agent. The air humming with the scent of deception as he frequents nightclubs, rock concerts, and university dorms. MDU, the Institute of International Relations, and the Institute of Cinematography. The air grows tense with the murmur of suspicion as Russian operatives, led by Stanislav Krivoruchkin of the Investigative Committee, take notice of Wojcik's frequent visits. The scent of contraband, possibly currency or drugs, lingering in his wake. What deadly cargo did Wojcik bring to Moscow? And who would pay the price? Chapter 2: The Courier's Game. In the neon-lit streets of Moscow, a Polish courier weaves a deadly web, but who is watching his every move? The neon glow of Moscow's nightlife in late 1993 bathes the snowy streets, where the air carries the scent of vodka, cigarette smoke, and the faint tone of desperation. Rusted Zhiguli cars line the roads, faded red banners flap in the icy wind. The murmur of music spilling from nightclubs and discotheques as the city's youth seek escape in the post-Soviet chaos. Michas Wojcik, a Polish courier, navigates this world with ease, the air thick with the scent of deception as he moves through Moscow's underbelly. Presenting himself as a philatelist or travel agent, the murmur of rock concerts and student parties fills the air as he frequents venues tied to the city's elite youth dorms at MDU, the Institute of International Relations, and the Institute of Cinematography, the scent of opportunity lingering as he builds his network. But the air hums with tension as Russian operatives, led by Stanislav Krivoruchkin of the Investigative Committee, watch his every move, their suspicion growing with each visit. Who is watching Wojcik's deadly game? And what secrets does he carry? The scent of paper and danger fills the air. Moscow, a neon-lit stage for a tale of deceit and peril. Wojcik's deceptive persona. Wojcik's deceptive persona is a carefully crafted mask. The air thick with the scent of charm and duplicity as he ingratiates himself into Moscow's social scene. The air hums with the murmur of conversations as he mingles at rock concerts. His presence noted backstage with famous Russian musicians, the scent of vodka heavy as he buys drinks in nightclubs. At university dorms, he poses as a travel agent, the air filled with the murmur of student chatter as he builds connections. His Polish accent softened by fluent Russian, though he often speaks Polish or English in public. The scent of secrecy lingering as he frequently uses translators. The air grows tense with the murmur of suspicion as Krivoruchkin's team notes this oddity. The scent of paper and surveillance reports mounting as they track his movements. Their instincts honed by years of combating Eastern European smuggling rings. Krivoruchkin's surveillance begins in earnest. The air thick with the scent of paper and resolve as his team sets up operations in a sparse Moscow office. Rusted desks cluttered with files, a faded red banner outside the window a reminder of the Soviet past. The air hums with the murmur of radios as operatives monitor Wojcik's frequent visits to Grand Post. A postal firm known for bypassing customs, the scent of intrigue heavy as he collects Dutch postage stamps, seemingly innocuous. But flagged for scrutiny, the air grows tense with the murmur of frustration as initial surveillance yields little. The scent of cigarette smoke lingering as Krivoruchkin decides to escalate. Assigning an undercover agent posing as a translator to infiltrate Wojcik's circle. The air humming with the anticipation of a breakthrough as they exploit his reliance on translators in public. The undercover translator's mission. The undercover translator, a young female operative, enters Wojcik's world, the air thick with the scent of tension and vodka as she joins him at a Moscow nightclub. The neon lights casting a harsh glow, the murmur of music pulsing through the crowd. The air hums with the scent of opportunity as she plays her role. Her Russian flawless, her Polish and English convincing, the murmur of Wojcik's conversations revealing his contacts, tour agencies, restaurants, and student haunts, the scent of paper lingering as she notes his frequent Grand Post visits. The air grows tense with the murmur of a potential lead as Wojcik, unaware of her true identity, asks her to hold expensive audio equipment for a friend in a business trip. The scent of suspicion heavy as she alerts Krivoruchkin, the air humming with the anticipation of a sting operation as they prepare a trap. Setting up a hidden camera in a safe house to catch Wojcik in the act. Will the translator's mission expose Wojcik's deadly cargo, or will he slip through their grasp? Chapter 3 The trap is set. In a Moscow safe house, a sting operation unfolds, but will the courier's secrets be uncovered in time? The icy air of late 1993 sweeps through Moscow, where the scent of snow, coal smoke, and the faint tone of tension fills the narrow streets near a nondescript apartment building. Rusted Zhiguli cars line the snowy road, a faded red banner flaps in the wind. The murmur of distant traffic blending with the hum of anticipation as Stanislav Krivoruchkin's team prepares a sting operation. Inside a safe house, the air is thick with the scent of paper and stale coffee. A rusted heater humming softly in the corner, a cleaner desk cluttered with surveillance equipment. A hidden camera poised to capture every move, the undercover translator, posing as a civilian, waits nervously, the air humming with the murmur of her coded radio as she confirms Wojcik's arrival. Michas Wojcik, the Polish courier, has asked her to hold audio equipment for a friend. A request that smells of deception, the scent of suspicion heavy as Krivoruchkin's team watches from a nearby post. Outside, the neon glow of a distant cafe sign casts a faint light. A stark contrast to the dark intent unfolding within. Will the sting operation uncover Wojcik's secrets? Or will the courier slip away? The scent of paper and danger fills the air. Moscow a shadowy stage for a tale of deception and pursuit. Wojcik's delivery. Wojcik arrives at the safe house. The air thick with the scent of tension and vodka as he steps out of a taxi. His face calm but his eyes darting, the murmur of his footsteps echoing in the snowy courtyard. The air hums with the scent of suspicion as the surveillance post confirms his arrival. A cleaner camera capturing his every move. Inside, the translator greets him. The air heavy with the murmur of their conversation as Wojcik, speaking in Polish, hands over two small boxes, claiming they contain audio equipment for his friend. The scent of deception lingering as he avoids eye contact, his hands trembling slightly. The air grows tense with the murmur of the hidden camera whirring as he quickly leaves. The scent of his cologne fading as he disappears into the night. The surveillance team confirming his departure, the air humming with the anticipation of a breakthrough. The discovery in the boxes, the team moves swiftly. The air thick with the scent of paper and urgency as they open the boxes in a second safe house nearby. A rusted desk cluttered with tools, a cleaner lamp casting harsh light. The murmur of their voices tense with focus, the air hums with the scent of discovery as they uncover an audio recorder and receiver. Seemingly ordinary, but the murmur of suspicion grows as they dismantle the receiver. Revealing a hidden compartment, the scent of chemicals heavy as they find packets of heroin, cocaine capsules, tablets, and, most intriguingly, dozens of Dutch postage stamps bundled in blocks. The air grows tense with the murmur of confusion as they initially dismiss the stamps. The scent of paper lingering as they focus on the drugs. The air humming with the realization that Wojcik is a narrow courier. The operation's first major breakthrough, the LSD stamps unveiled. The stamps, however, nag at Krivoruchkin, the air thick with the scent of paper and unease as he orders a deeper analysis. The murmur of his orders echoing in the safe house, the air hums with the scent of chemicals as experts at the MEV's Forensic Center examine the stamps. A rusted microscope humming softly, the murmur of their findings a game-changer, each stamp is laced with LSD. A psychotropic drug, with one stamp holding 25 doses and a block up to 7,500, the air heavy with the scent of innovation as they realize the narco-mafia's genius stamps. Innocuous and easy to smuggle, even on envelopes or the perfect vessel for a deadly drug. The air grows tense with the murmur of a chilling trot, which has brought a new plague to Moscow. The scent of paper and danger lingering as the team prepares to track the drugs chain. The air humming with the anticipation of a larger operation. Will they catch the network? Or has LSD already taken root in Moscow? Chapter 4: The narco network unravels in Moscow's underworld. A drug network unravels, but can operatives stop the deadly spread of LSD? The neon-lit streets of Moscow in late 1993 pulse with restless energy. The air thick with the scent of vodka, cigarette smoke, and the faint tone of snow as the city's youth flood nightclubs and discotheques. Seeking escape in the post-Soviet chaos, rusted Zhiguli cars line the snowy roads. Faded red banners flap in the icy wind, the murmur of music and laughter echoing through the night. A stark contrast to the dark undercurrent of addiction taking hold. Stanislav Krivoruchkin's team operates from a sparse safe house, the air heavy with the scent of paper and stale coffee. A rusted heater humming softly, the murmur of radios crackling with updates as they track the narco network tied to Michas Wojcik. The discovery of Lestley's Dutch stamps has exposed a chilling operation. The air humming with the scent of danger as operatives monitor Denis Bakhonov, a Moscow dealer known as Den, who received Wojcik's shipment. The air grows tense with the murmur of wiretaps capturing coded conversations, whilst stamps called Elsa and heroin tablets dubbed Beast, revealing a sprawling network targeting Moscow's elite youth. Can operatives stop the deadly spread of LSD, or will the city's youth fall deeper into its grip? The scent of paper and peril fills the air, Moscow a neon-lit stage for a tale of addiction and pursuit. Wojcik's return and Bakhonov's confirmation. Wojcik returns to Moscow days after the sting. The air thick with the scent of tension and vodka as he meets the undercover translator at a bustling nightclub. The neon lights casting a harsh glow, the murmur of music pulsing through the crowd. The air hums with the scent of deception as Wojcik, speaking in Polish, inquires if his friend collected the audio equipment. The murmur of his words a coded check on whether Bakhonov received the drugs. The scent of suspicion lingering as the translator confirms the pickup. Her voice steady despite the stakes. The air grows tense with the murmur of surveillance as operatives listen in. The scent of paper heavy as they confirm Bakhonov's receipt of the shipment. The air humming with the realization that Wojcik's brief visit is a test of the network's security. His departure imminent, leaving Bakhonov as their next target, tracking Bakhonov's network. The team tracks Bakhonov's network, the air thick with the scent of paper and resolve as they set up surveillance across Moscow. Rusted Zhiguli cars stationed discreetly, the murmur of radios crackling with updates. The air hums with the scent of wiretaps as they intercept Bakhonov's coded calls, Elsa for LSD stamps, Beast for heroin, the murmur of his conversations revealing a network of couriers targeting Moscow's golden youth. The scent of danger heavy as they identify his contacts, students, rock concert attendees, and club-goers. The air tense with the murmur of deals at Mgu, the Institute of International Relations, and the Institute of Cinematography. The air grows heavy with the scent of urgency as they follow Bakhonov to a meeting at Pushkinskaya Square. The murmur of the crowd masking his exchange with Wojcik and a new figure, Alexander Ivolgin, a student at the Institute of International Relations. The scent of paper lingering as Wojcik hands over journals, likely hiding more stamps, before departing. Alexander Ivolgin's role. Alexander Ivolgin emerges as a key player. The air thick with the scent of paper and suspicion as operatives dig into his background. The murmur of their findings chilling the son of a diplomat, using his father's dark cherry Volvo while the diplomat is abroad. Ivolgin has a history of drug-related arrests, the air humming with the scent of privilege as his peers confirm his addiction and role as a dealer. The murmur of prices ahoying, $4.07 per dose, $100 $150 per stamp. The air grows tense with the murmur of wiretaps as Ivolgin's calls reveal drop-off points and couriers. The scent of paper heavy as Krivoruchkin's team maps the network. The air humming with the anticipation of a sting, the murmur of their plan to catch the couriers in the act signaling a turning point. Will Ivolgin's arrest break the network, or will the mafia adapt? Chapter 5: The Sting and its Aftermath. In Moscow's snowy streets, a sting operation strikes, but can it end the city's deadly LSD wave? The snowy streets of Moscow in late November 1993 were shrouded in darkness. The air thick with the scent of frost, coal smoke, and the faint tone of tension as Stanislav Krivoruchkin's team prepares for a high-stakes sting. Rusted Zhiguli cars line the icy roads near Pushkinskaya station, faded red banners flapping in the wind. The murmur of late-night commuters blending with the hum of anticipation as operatives position themselves. Their radios crackling with coded updates, the air hums with the scent of paper as they review wiretaps, pinpointing Alexander Ivolgin's meeting to receive LSD stamps from Denis Bakhonov. The murmur of their plan to catch the couriers in the act echoing through the safe house. In Minsk, Belarusian authorities gear up for Michas Wojcik's arrival, the air heavy with the scent of international cooperation as Krivoruchkin orchestrates a simultaneous takedown. The air grows tense with the murmur of Moscow's youth, unaware of the drug's toll, hallucinations, brain damage, and rising suicides spreading through their ranks. Can this sting end the city's deadly LSD wave? Or will the mafia strike back? The scent of paper and peril fills the air. Moscow, a snowy stage for a tale of justice and tragedy. The sting at Shokinskaya Station. The sting unfolds at Shokinskaya Station on November 25, 1993. The air thick with the scent of snow and tension as operatives spot Ivolgin, a 19-year-old student in a dark coat, approaching the meet, the murmur of his footsteps echoing in the snowy platform. The air humming with the scent of anticipation as two couriers join him. The air grows tense with the murmur of Bakhonov's absence. He senses danger and flees minutes before. The scent of suspicion heavy as operatives move in, arresting Ivolgin and his accomplices with precision. The air humming with the murmur of their cuffs clicking, a cleaner bag of stamps and currency seized. The scent of paper lingering as they secure the evidence, the operation a partial success. Wojcik's arrest in Minsk. Wojcik's arrest unfolds, the air thick with the scent of jet fuel and tension as Belarusian authorities, tipped off by Krivoruchkin, apprehend him at the airport, the murmur of their commands echoing in the terminal. The air humming with the scent of paper as they seize another batch of LSD stamps. The scent of victory heavy as Moscow operatives escort him back. The murmur of his protests fading as he's detained. The air grows tense with the scent of interrogation as Wojcik confesses. The murmur of his testimony revealing the 1993 narco-mafia summit in Holland. The air heavy with the scent of conspiracy as he admits to targeting Russia's youth. The stamps a genius smuggling method, the murmur of his scheme hilling, stamps with bicycles and sons valued higher than those with Gorbachev's portrait. The network's takedown follows swiftly. The air thick with the scent of paper and resolve as Krivoruchkin's team arrests Bakhonov and other couriers by evening. The murmur of their operations echoing across Moscow, the air humming with the scent of seized stamps, hundreds confiscated. The murmur of their value staggering, Bakhonov admitting to $130 in October 1993 alone. The air heavy with the scent of greed as the team targets rock concerts, clubs, and universities, the murmur of further raids dismantling the network. The scent of paper lingering as they log the evidence, the air tense with the realization of the drug spread. Moscow's tragic aftermath emerges in early 1995. The air thick with the scent of despair and frost as the city grapples with cost's toll. The murmur of rising suicides among Yauch, students, rock fans, club-goers, linked to the drug's psychotropic effects. The air heavy with the scent of tragedy as it damages brains, eroding the will to live, the murmur of shattered lives echoing through dorms and clubs. The scent of paper lingering in police reports as Krivoruchkin's operation offers hope. The air humming with the murmur of a city fighting back. The stamps now a grim footnote in empty archives. Will Moscow heal? Or will the mafia's shadow linger?
Don't scroll past. Hit like and subscribe if you're ready for the next twisted story.